Today on Foxpro's Furtakers, we are after number 24 on the Furtaker hit list.
We're trying to kill coyotes in every state that has a coyote.
It's a battle between Mother Nature and hard-to-call coyotes.
Oh, there he goes.
The hunt begins right now.
Hunting predators, it's challenging. To be successful, you have to outsmart them. And the hunt, it's fast-paced and fast action. It's why we live to be fur takers.
The Furtaker boys have a predator hit list. Their goal is to cover North America, taking predators from every state and Canadian province. Each hunt has unique challenges, and they are never easy. Today, Big Al faces another. He's after predators with a southern drawl. Welcome to Alabama.
You know, here we are, west central Alabama. We're trying to knock Alabama off the list. February 15th is the peak of the breeding season for coyotes, so we're just a week after that, and I really hope, I have high hopes that we can come in here to Alabama, use some new techniques we've been working on, use some of these good Foxpro sounds, coyote vocalizations primarily, to get these coyotes to react and come to us.
Hey, are we gonna be hunting big openings, or is it gonna be pretty tight?
About 1,000 acres through here, and we're gonna go through necks and big places, little places, big places, little places. We'll set up some places you'll be able to look across a field with that rifle. Other places I'll turn and watch the thicket behind us. It's just gonna change as we go.
But if you want to be successful, you've got to really have some knowledge of hunting. You got to have your wind right. You got to get in the right areas where they've been seen, and you know where they got food sources or where they stay. And you just have to draw on everything that you've learned in hunting.
The terrain in this country is so different. Vandy calls it prairie country.
We're in a prairie country, which is primary cattle country.
I mean, if we park here and walk over to that head, that tree line, that's all rough up there. And then there's these woods, and then there's thickets all in there, so. If you call a predator in on the first stand, that's bad luck. So apparently, we got good luck because we didn't call one in on the first stand.
There's a reason that they're out there. They're out there because they're hard to kill. And if they were easy to kill, we could wipe them on out and not have to worry about it. Well, I think it's just like everything else. You got to be where they are. If you're going to kill a coyote, you got to be where he is.
He's on the other side of them trees. He's coming. He was just behind in that next clearing. He was right here. He was coming through these trees, coming right to us. So it's our fourth stand here in Alabama. You didn't get to see him. He was skirting us. He was barking out there, and 4 stands to finally get one to vocalize. At least I know that these vocalizations are going to get some reactions.
When that coyote started vocalizing, it did a couple things for me. It let me know that these vocalizations were getting their attention. And if they heard it, they would probably react.
If we'd have just sat another 5 minutes, that male, he'd have come out right here at the edge of these trees and we might have got a shot at him. But I stood up, walked out to get the collar. He saw me and started barking at us.
That coyote was important. The downside was it was in about 25, 30 mile an hour wind. And we fought that wind all that day and the next day and just didn't get a lot happening.
The weather got just extremely bad after 2 days.
It was probably to the point that we probably should have sat in the house and played cards or something, but we couldn't.
What we have here is a coyote hunter's nightmare. This wind is 25 to 35 in gusts. Tomorrow's a new day. We're gonna go eat some good food, tell some good lies with Randy Collins, get up early and do it again. How's that sound?
We're trying to knock Alabama off the list, and you have high hopes when you come on these trips that the good Lord's gonna cooperate with the weather and the wind, and boy, that wasn't the case the first couple days.
This is the part you don't see. This is the stand that you never want to make. It's too windy.
We'd fought the weather for 2 days, and this coyote had been seen down in a hayfield, and we decided to give him a shot that morning first thing. So we went down there and parked and eased in there and set up in the east side of a hayfield. I had a little neck of woods and a ditch on the other side. We pretty much figured where he might be.
And I sat down, played coyote pair, got on the diaphragm and did some howls. And immediately, I mean, it was spine tingling to hear those coyotes react. Big male just really cut loose, and then another one cut in.
Oh, listen to those two. They're right straight across from us.
It started out like it was one coyote, and then two, and then you would have sworn there were 10 over there when they both cranked up. As I say both, it wasn't but two of them.
I did some whimpering on the diaphragm, really got some fine notes going there, and I could see him coming around the end of that point. I got the crosshairs on him, and all of a sudden that female pops in, and she looked across there and could see us sitting there, and she didn't like it.
It's a big male. That is how you do it in Alabama. Boom.
Vandy will tell you it was lucky. I'll tell you I anticipated his movement and made a great shot. But either way, we got our first coyote in Alabama.
Oh, Al, hush.
Come on. Have the faith, brother.
It was early in the morning. We hit him at the right time.
Alabama, baby. It's a challenge. It's something completely different than what a Western boy's used to. Look at this, Vandy. Look at that coyote right there. I'm gonna guess he's 40, 45 pounds.
I'm going to get that buggy because we need to keep going.
Big dominant pair of the area. I played coyote pair and then did some subtle howling with the diaphragm, and they couldn't take it. That is the way it's supposed to happen right there.
If it happened every time like that, it wouldn't be none left.
We went and made a setup, and we had a tornado watch. And them clouds moved in, and when the guy from Alabama says, it's time to go, it's time to go. There was a line of thunder and lightning, and I mean, it was amazing to see that storm go through.
It's moved through, the wind's picked up a little more.
It ain't all the way through the tornado watch. We're gonna ease over him, but you seen that lightning back there? I think that's south of us. That's what the bad band, and
We're still trying to get coyotes in the middle of this.
Vandy says we need to get out of this wind. And he knew where he had a food plot inside some cedar thickets. And we moved into that food plot. Sat down, started making those Foxpro sounds.
Coyote bear.
Female coyote submissive and coyote pup distress. And pretty soon at the very end of that food plot, lo and behold, there's a coyote standing there looking at us.
Oh God.
he didn't come busting out in there, but he came on up there to see what was going on and just took him a stand down there at the end of the field.
He'd stood there for a long time, but he just didn't like what was transpiring, so he started to back out. I put a shot on him, and away he goes. Keep shooting till they're on the ground, and I put a couple more shots out there, and I think I got lucky enough to hit him again.
Dang it. I hate it when they run off like that. That don't look good.
Big Al, Big Al.
Is that him? Tell you what, I was nervous we weren't gonna find that coyote because the way he took out of there like a cannon. But he's laying right here. Dog number 2 in Alabama. Boo-wah. What kind of coyote do we got here? Look at this. Another male.
We worked really hard for this coyote number 2. Learned to the guys that know, they live down here 365 days a year. So do these coyotes. I keep telling you, listen to the locals. Get in there, get in tight with them. We were doing it right. We were making vocalizations. We were doing the things we needed to do to call coyotes in. As tough as the calling was in the wind condition, we still called coyotes in, so it was great. That was a great day.
Why do eastern coyotes average a larger body size than western coyotes? There are a lot of theories about why coyotes out west average a smaller body size per age class than coyotes in the eastern states like Pennsylvania, New York, and that area. But the most commonly accepted theory, and the one I agree with, it simply boils down to food. There are a lot more rabbits, rats, voles, moles, and other little critters that coyotes like to eat in the east per square mile than there are in most western habitats. There's certainly more deer in the east per square mile than in most western habitats. And the winter's not as harsh in many of these areas also. When you take the combination of having more food and less stress, the same species is gonna get bigger. For example, when we take deer out of South Florida and give them a Midwest diet full of soybeans and grain, they get bigger. No matter where you are, better food usually results in bigger critters of the same species. You want big coyotes? Hunt in the east. I'm Grant Woods, and that's your Predator Profile.
We're here in west central Alabama, located on the banks of the Tombigbee Warrior River. The great thing about coyote hunting, where nobody's gonna let you deer hunt, nobody's gonna let you turkey hunt, landowners are gonna say, sure, come on and let me tell you where I saw them. Let me tell you where I've been seeing them. So you got a jump start on everything in the predator industry. The doors are open to you. There's some tracks right there.
It's universal. It doesn't matter where you go. These coyotes, that is a big coyote. Look at that track. And they just use these roads as their highways. That's old scat, but I mean, you can see the bone in it and the fur. If you'll taste that and tell me exactly how old it is.
Some people you can just really ride. I mean, you can put the saddle on them when you get with them, and you can just stay on them. And after they get comfortable with it, you'll start getting it right back, I can tell you right now.
And we're about 15, 16 minutes into this stand, and here they come. And out comes coyote number one.
Dog two coming up. There he goes, dang it.
That old SR556 is perfect. And I let it eat a little. I think 7 or 8 shots later, that coyote was still alive and he got out there ways. And you've seen me make some spectacular shots on Foxpro Furtakers, and that was not one of those situations. I did not make a good shot at all.
We still need to send a runner to get shells or something.
Well, Vandy's just, he is relentless on a guy like me. You miss around Vandy, you're gonna pay for it.
Big Al and I mean, I love to talk about his shooting. His history of shooting with me is really pretty bad, I can tell you, from the first time he came to this time. But you know, we have a good time, and that's the key. The key to any of it is having a good time.
If you don't pull the trigger, you ain't never gonna kill him.
Yeah, but if you hadn't pulled them trigger, them 3 would have come right across in front of you.
I know. I needed to know they was there. 1 in the hand beats 10 in the bush. No.
You didn't have one in your hand. You had one slipping through your fingers kind of fast. What I decided when we called 5 up at one time, that we had called up everyone that was around there, we needed to go ahead and leave and go somewhere else.
After 4 days of battling Alabama's wind and storms, Big Al and Vandy are down to their final stand.
And we set up overlooking a little bottom and the dam of the duck pond. Yeah, these coyotes, we found out, looking at them and seeing them and talking to people, you know, they have a history of staying around ponds, because around ponds there'll be frogs, all kind of stuff that they can feed on.
We set up, started calling. We were not there 3 or 4 minutes, and out pops this big old male coyote. He runs right up there. I whoop him to a stop, 60, 70 yards, tops.
I'm really excited.
I'd like to think that I've done this long enough that I wouldn't get excited, but at that moment in time, I was excited.
Vandy put us on him again. 60, 70 yard, 75 yard shot. And I'm really praying. I don't like to wound coyotes, I like to kill them. Could not believe he didn't just fall over dead right there.
We've been struggling in this wind to call this coyote in, and there is no excuse for wounding an animal.
Here's blood. See it? That's the part of hunting I don't like. When you make a bad shot.
You'd love to say that I never crippled anything and I never, you know, let anything get away, but it's not gonna happen. And anybody believes it is, they're just fooling themselves.
Part of what I like about Furtakers is we're not just fluff and stuff. We're out there in the real world doing real-time stuff, and some of it we're not proud of. Some of it we wish we didn't show on video. But that really happens. Everyday hunters are out there every day calling these coyotes in and taking shots at them, and some of the shots aren't perfect. That coyote coming up there was our 11th coyote that we called in on this trip. Everybody had been saying it's so hard down here to call coyotes in. Well, we came down here in 4 days in really tough conditions. We persevered. Our kill number is low on this show, but that's not what it's about. The experience is meeting good people. My goal was to come down here and prove that we could take these coyote vocalizations off the Foxpro, get these coyotes to react. We did that with resounding success. What I really found out down here in the Southeast is you need to get close. You need to get in proximity to these coyotes. And I promise you, the best way to learn your country is to get off the couch. I know you're sitting on it right now watching Furtakers, but get off your couch, get after them, stay after them. That's the Furtaker motto.